In 100 years' time, instead of the boogeyman, kids will probably grow up hearing about the urban legend of P. Diddy the Diddler and think that it's just a fake myth. But in a similar vein, there are also many urban legends that we grew up with in the present era and think are just fake myths. However, apparently some of these are actually real. The scariest urban legends that turned out to be true by the Pain Explainer.
The Funhouse Corpse. In the 1970s, there was a horrifying discovery that what the Carnival Funhouse presented as a creepy prop was actually a real human corpse. The story claims that the mannequin had been hanging as a decoration for years, with thousands of people passing by, taking photos, and even touching it without realizing they were interacting with actual human remains.
Bro, so everyone was just unintentionally doing like a Logan Paul type beat, but wouldn't they smell it? Like, wouldn't the body smell like really bad if it's been hanging there for years?
The carnival workers positioned and repainted the prop regularly, believing it to be just another spooky decoration. It was also known that children were surprised by how realistic it looked, unaware they were viewing a genuine corpse. The truth behind this legend is the case of Elmer McCurdy, an unsuccessful train robber killed in a 1911 shootout with police in Oklahoma.
Well, and so as punishment, they decided to humiliate him by hanging his dead body in some sort of like kids' funhouse. What even is this? The funhouse? Lost City Funhouse? I've never heard of this. Well, I guess that'll teach him to never rob a train again.
After his death, no one claimed his body, so a funeral director embalmed it with arsenic and displayed it for paying customers.
Wait, what do you mean paying customers? What do you mean claimed the body? Can you buy a corpse? Why would anyone buy it? Like, unless you wanted to do like the frickety. No, wait, no. Did there used to be a market for dead bodies? Like, I can imagine, like, imagine the female dead bodies. Imagine, like, the creeps that are willing to pay, like, millions of dollars for the female dead bodies.
The body was later sold to various traveling carnivals and haunted houses. McCurdy's mummified remains eventually ended up at the New Pike Amusement Park in Long Beach, California, and in December 1976, during filming of The $6 Million Man, a crew member moved the mannequin, causing its arm to break off, revealing human bone. Medical examiners confirmed it was a real human body. Investigations revealed the body had been painted multiple times with phosphorus paint and decorated as various props throughout the years.
Bro, imagine dying and then your dead body gets disrespected by getting dressed up as a clown. Imagine watching this from heaven. Like, imagine like you're just from heaven, you're just watching everyone just mutilate your dead body.
McCurdy's corpse had traveled across America as a carnival attraction for 65 years before being discovered. He was finally buried in Summit View Cemetery in Oklahoma in 1977.
I mean, I'm glad he got the respect, like the body was deserved. Like, even though he was like a robber, like at least like you pay respect to the body.
The Bunny Man. In Fairfax County, Virginia, lies the Colchester Overpass, also known as the Bunny Man Bridge. According to the legend, in 1904, there was a transfer of patients from an asylum. Their bus crashed, and all patients except one were recaptured. Soon after, dead bunnies started appearing around the area, many of which were hanged on the Fairfax Station Bridge. The first documented encounter with the Bunny Man occurred on October 19, 1970, when U.S. Air Force Academy cadet Bob Bennett and his fiancée were parked in their car near the bridge. According to Bob, they were sitting in their car when they observed something moving in the darkness. Suddenly, a figure appeared in a white rabbit costume with long rabbit ears. The man approached their car and yelled at them for trespassing before throwing an axe that shattered the passenger side window. However, Bennett's fiancée did not agree with his description, saying that he did not have a bunny suit on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was sort of thinking the same thing too. That just seems too much out of like some sort of like horror movie. Why would this guy go to the effort of dressing like a bunny and then killing the bunnies?
Did not agree with his description, saying that he did not have a bunny suit on and that it looked more like long, pointy headwear. That
might be a little bit worse. So instead of like a bunny man that kills bunnies, she thinks that this is a clan member that kills humans.
Just 10 days later, on October 29, 1970, construction security guard Paul Phillips described a similar incident. He saw a man in a rabbit suit standing on the porch of an unfinished home in Kings Park West. The figure was holding an axe and chopping at the porch of the house, yelling about trespassers. When the man noticed Phillips, he said that he was trespassing and that if he came any closer, he would chop off his head. After that, Paul fled the scene. Following these events, around 50 people reported that they had seen the Bunny Man, and both cases were thoroughly investigated by local law enforcement. The reports are still kept in Fairfax County records, but they did not lead to anything. While the original Bunny Man didn't get caught, his influence remains, and the Colchester Overpass has stayed intact since that time.
Wait, but then if they didn't get caught, then it might not even be real. But I mean, to be fair, 50 people reporting it, I mean, that seems real enough, I think.
The Green Man. The Green Man, also known locally as Charlie No Face, was a man named Raymond Robinson who walked the empty roads of Beaver County, Pennsylvania at night. The Green Man's face was deformed from a tragic accident in 1919 when Raymond Robinson, at 8 years old, was seriously injured while attempting to examine a bird's nest on the Murado Bridge near Beaver Falls.
Bro, how does your face get seriously injured while examining birds' eggs? Were they just radioactive birds' eggs that exploded in his face like uranium? Or maybe one of the birds had like such bad explosive diarrhea that it just exploded in his face?
While climbing the bridge, Robinson touched a power line carrying 22,000 volts of electricity.
Okay, you know what? Okay, that'll do it. That will definitely deform someone's face.
The accident was documented in local newspapers, which reported that young Raymond had been severely disfigured and lost his eyes, nose, and right arm. What transformed Robinson from a tragic accident victim into a living legend was his habit of taking long walks at night along State Route 351 between Coppell and New Galilee.
Wait, that's a very long walk. He has no eyes, and so how is he meant to like navigate himself? Or maybe since he doesn't have eyes, like the only time that he can actually walk is really late at night, because at really late at night there's like gonna be no cars, compared to like if he tries to take a walk during the daytime, he will most likely just run in front, like accidentally walk in front of a highly moving vehicle.
Unable to work traditional jobs due to his injuries, Robinson spent his days crafting leather wallets and belts at his family's home. He would go on solitary walks along the rural road at night when there wouldn't be people outside because he didn't wish to scare others. However, his choice made it a scarier experience for residents of Beaver County who drove along Route 351 at night. They would frequently spot Robinson walking along the road, his injured face sometimes appearing to glow green in their headlights, hence the nickname Green Man. What makes Robinson's story particularly compelling is the way it transformed from documented fact into regional folklore. While many who encountered him at night were frightened, those who took the time to speak with Robinson found him to be friendly and intelligent. He would often stop to chat with curious teenagers who sought him out, and some locals would offer him cigarettes or beer, interactions confirmed by multiple independent accounts and newspaper interviews. Robinson continued his nighttime walks until his death in 1985.
I mean, at least there were some people who didn't judge him. Like, at least he had friends and everything. But I mean, the reason why he walked at night was that so he wouldn't scare anyone during the daytime. But then that just makes everything so much worse. Okay, I mean, he had good intentions though.
The dead body under the mattress. There have been urban legends about dead bodies under mattresses throughout all of history. What makes this particular urban legend so terrifying isn't just its dreadful nature, it's the fact that it has proven true multiple times across different decades and locations, and the reality has matched the legend with extreme accuracy. The most notorious verified case occurred in 1999 at the Ocean View Motel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Guests had complained for days about a pervasive, sickening odor in room 112. The smell was dismissed as everything from a dead rat to a backed-up sewage system. Multiple guests checked in and out of the room, each complaining about the stench, each sleeping unknowingly above a corpse. When housekeeping finally investigated thoroughly, they discovered the decomposing body of Saul Hernandez carefully concealed inside the box spring of the bed. The verification of this urban legend led to changes in hotel protocols across the country.
I mean, I hope so. How do you allow a dead body to be in the mattress, and why do you not do anything about it? This is a horrible hotel. Like people complain and they just like dismiss it as like, oh, it's just a dead rat, it's just sewage. But I mean, even if it was a dead rat or sewage, shouldn't someone like go and get the dead rat out of the mattress? Because if people knew that it was a mattress, why didn't anyone like go and investigate it or like replace the mattress or clean it? At least clean it with like water or something.
Many establishments now require more thorough room inspections, including checking under mattresses and inside box springs. Some hotels
that's an actual real thing in America. Like the people in the hotel, they have to actually check inside mattresses now from now on, just in case there's a dead body hiding in there.
Some hotels have even switched to platform beds or sealed mattress units to prevent their use as hiding places. People in the walls. The notion of someone secretly watching within the walls has long held a place in many urban legends, and as it turns out, this particular horror story idea has a basis in documented reality that makes it all the more disturbing.
What?
A case that resembles the urban legends occurred in 1986 in Pepperell, Massachusetts, where a man named Daniel LaPlante was discovered to have been secretly living within the walls of a family's home for an extended period.
I mean, this was also a thing in Parasite, the Korean movie. Like, they're just living in the walls of that guy's house.
LaPlante, a convicted criminal, had accessed the house through a small crawl space and started living there for a while, emerging when the family was away to eat their food, move their belongings, and even watch them through holes he had drilled.
Yeah, this is exactly Parasite. This is exactly the Korean movie.
Something similar happened in 2008 in Japan. A homeless woman was found living in a man's closet for over a year. She had snuck in through a tiny crack in the closet and remained hidden, only coming out when the homeowner was away.
Bro, that is insanely creepy. But I mean, that's why the movie was called Parasite, because like they were parasites. They come out when the homeowners were away, and they'd be parasitic because they would eat all the food and everything, and then go back into hiding when the owners came back.
Le Loyon. The urban legend of Le Loyon was extensively covered by Swiss media, particularly by Le Matin newspaper in 2013. Unlike many folklore figures, this mysterious person was photographed multiple times,
Bigfoot?
with verifiable sightings by local residents spanning a decade in the Mals region of Switzerland. Le Loyon was first documented around 2003, when residents began reporting encounters with a tall figure in the woods. What distinguished these sightings from typical urban legends was their consistency. The person always wore the same outfit, a vintage military gas mask and a thick camouflage coat. A local photographer was able to get a photograph of Le Loyon, which marked a significant step forward in documenting his presence. This photograph, which appeared in Swiss publications, showed exactly what witnesses had described: a person dressed in military uniform traveling alone through the forest paths. The photographs served to prove that this wasn't just local talk, but a real person. The most concrete proof came in September 2013, when Le Loyon's entire costume was deliberately left in the woods. The note that was found, which was published in part by Swiss media, mentioned the recent increased attention they had received.
What? And so he just abandoned it? What if this was just some like teenager that just likes like doing cosplay? Like, what if he just liked doing a cosplay? Because this is a vintage like gas mask and like a cloak. It sort of looks like a cartoon character. Like, what if this was just some guy just trying to have fun in the woods, like just like in his own like fantasy world? Like, what if he just liked doing roleplay, but then everyone started accusing him of being like Bigfoot, and so then he started fearing for his life because, you know, if like a hunter saw him in the woods, maybe like they would be more inclined to shoot him because of like the media attention. Like the media is painting this guy as like a bad guy, like Bigfoot, like he needs to be like hunted. And so for his own safety, he decided to just abandon it and just never dress up as this character ever again. And so then he just bought a furry fursuit so he could roleplay as that instead.
Local police confirmed the discovery of the artifacts and note, making this one of the rare masked figure stories supported by physical evidence and official paperwork. Cropsey. The Cropsey legend was about a deranged individual who would wander Staten Island's Willowbrook Mental Institution grounds after dark in the 1970s and 1980s. Cropsey was attributed to the disappearances of many children in the area. Many of the legends describe Cropsey as an escaped mental patient. He was most often described either wielding a bloody axe or with a hook for a hand.
I mean, yeah, I think I would also describe this guy as an escaped mental patient. Some people describe me as an escaped mental patient, but that is not true.
In reality, Cropsey was found to be Andre Rand, a former Willowbrook orderly who would become one of Staten Island's most notorious criminals. Rand worked at the institution during its most notorious period, a time when patients were subjected to extreme neglect and abuse. After the institution's closure, he continued to haunt the periphery of the community, becoming a real-life embodiment of the Cropsey legend. Rand was convicted of kidnapping multiple young girls, with suspicions of involvement in numerous disappearances. His actual crimes mirrored the urban legend almost precisely, targeting vulnerable young women, operating around institutional grounds. The first confirmed kidnapping attributed to Rand was that of Jennifer Schweiger in 1987. She was a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome, exactly the type of vulnerable victim the Cropsey legend had described.
What? So this guy only targets people with what do you call it? What is the non-cancelable, politically correct way to say this? People with intellectual disabilities. So he only targets people with intellectual disabilities. I mean, don't they already have it like kind of tough already? And you're just gonna make their lives even like harder by just killing them?
Rand had a total of 5 notable alleged victims, and in 1988, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison.
What? Only 25 years? For 5 victims? You ruined 5 people's lives and you only get 25 years? It should be 25 years per victim, so like 125 years.
Toxic Lady. According to the Toxic Lady legend, a mysterious woman arrived at a California hospital in the 1990s, and when medical staff drew her blood, toxic fumes caused hospital workers to collapse. As the tale spread, it grew more dramatic. Some versions claimed her body melted through floors, and her presence caused equipment malfunctions.
Bro, this is the most cap urban legend like of all time. How is that even possible? Her body caused the floor to melt? Does she have like uranium as like her blood?
The legend describes hazmat teams quarantining hospital wings and staff falling ill from merely being near the woman. Stories tell of her skin's oily sheen, highly acidic blood, and strange odors that induced unconsciousness. The tale typically ends with her death and body being sealed in special containment. The truth behind this legend is the case of Gloria Ramirez in 1994.
Could have been radiation.
She arrived at Riverside General Hospital with advanced cervical cancer and heart problems. Medical staff noticed an oily sheen on her skin, and after drawing her blood, which had an ammonia-like smell, hospital workers began experiencing nausea, breathing problems, and muscle spasms. 23 people fell ill, 5 needing hospitalization, with 1 worker requiring intubation. The emergency room was evacuated and decontaminated by a hazmat team. Ramirez died from kidney failure shortly after arrival. Scientists believe this occurred because Ramirez used DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, for pain relief. Her organ failure may have converted it to DMSO2, then DMSO4, a toxic compound that caused the staff's symptoms. While lacking supernatural elements like melting floors, the real events were strange enough to inspire numerous urban legends.
I mean, the ammonia blood makes a lot more sense than melting the floors. My first thought was that like this person maybe like fell into like a nuclear like power plant or something, and then now like she was like spreading the radiation. But I guess having cervical cancer gives you ammonia blood or something.